to sing a cappella for 30 minutes, so get your earplugs.
Armado på hof!
Hello, everybody, and glad to be here, and glad to see so many of you here. Where to begin?
Well, first of all, bunch of crazy people behind us. They're with us on stage tonight. It's the Great War Choir, and it's going to be a really special show. And, you know, a lot of bands play with orchestras, which we have done too, and it's a lot of fun. On the other hand, that's something different. Choirs is a lot of Sabaton. So we thought, why don't we take something that's a big part of our music and make it even more strong? So, give it up for the Great War Choir!
Yeah, I mean, we're about to release our new album, The Great War, so that's obviously why it's The Great War Choir. It's a concept album about World War I, and we have already been around a lot talking about it, meeting a lot of people all across the world, and presenting the new album, and we can honestly feel very, very warm the result of the response of the people who've heard it so far. And we were able to bring the album here to France to present it for the first time in Verdun a couple of weeks ago, and well, there was maybe somebody who was there, and it was an absolutely amazing experience to be able to perform, to you know, showcase an album on a location where it actually happened. That's something we always wanted to do, but couldn't do until now.
Sorry. Hi, how are you?
Hi.
We are very, very happy to see you again here at Knotfest, not Hellfest, Knotfest, okay? So, yeah, my first question is, of course, how are you? And the second one, could you tell us a little more about the video clip? Yeah, music video clip of Verdun, Bismarck. Could you tell us a little more about it?
Sure. Yeah, of course. We are absolutely great. We're excited to be here. I think at the moment we have had a long break before starting to play a few shows now. We've pretty much stopped and been off the road for several months making a new album, so it's great to be back again. Normally Sabaton is playing a lot of shows, but in the winter we didn't do that much. So now it's great to be back again, and I think that everybody is getting in shape of and getting a little bit away with the nervousity, whatever, this thing.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, when we did the first couple of shows, I was so nervous, I was going to the bathroom like 5 times for the last hour before every show. No matter if you've done, I mean, I stopped counting after 1,000 shows. That was many years ago. However, you know, you don't realize how much of this is, you know, you think you have the experience and the routine, but that is still all thrown out the window, because what you're going to see tonight is some shit we've never done before, really. We've done everything new. In the past, we've usually been adding more and more stuff to our stage set. We have more now as well, but we took everything away except, well, the tank. It's Sabaton. We got to have a fucking tank, right?
Regarding the video clips, yeah. First of all, we did a video clip, and the first one that was announced or released in the spring here was for a song that is not on the album. For the song Bismarck. And the Bismarck was a story we wanted to do a long time ago, because we get a lot of emails from fans around the world asking us, can you write a song about this or that or that? And we keep all of that, and we save it, and we keep it in our minds and thinking about it for the future. And now we're coming up, this is our 20 years anniversary as a band this year. And we thought, okay, some people said to us, you need to go on tour, you need to play all the old stuff, you need to go on tour playing only classic Sabaton songs from the first albums. Some people said you need to release a best of Sabaton with only the old albums or whatever. And we said, no, the 20 years anniversary of Sabaton doesn't look back, it looks forward. It looks to the future of the band. And on the other hand, we thought we give something as a thank you to all the fans. And we couldn't give a box of chocolates to all the fans around the world. So we thought, can we give to everybody around the world, no matter where they live, what they actually would like? And there's one thing that our fans like, no matter if they live in Sweden, or if they live in France, or if they live in Latin America. And that is simple. They want Sabaton music. That's what everybody likes, hopefully. And So we recorded one song, and we choose as the topic the most requested Sabaton theme of everybody, of our fans around the world for these years. We didn't choose the most, because the most one was Star Wars. So we choose the second most wanted topic of a Sabaton song. And then we have a cooperation with a gaming company called Wargaming, who do games like World of Tanks and World of Warships, among two of their games. And we worked very closely with them, and they were able, when they heard about the idea that, oh, you're going to do a song about Bismarck, well, it's featured in one of our games, and we love to help you to produce a great video clip for it. And they really did it. It was an exciting story to create it and film it, and the amount of feedback for it was absolutely amazing. That was the story about Bismarck, yeah. And then when it comes to Fields of Verdun, we choose this one as the first single for the new album. And we knew that it was one of those stories that will definitely stick out from the album. It's one very important thing. When we were sitting and discussing what kind of topic it's going to be, okay, the World War I is a huge topic, and there are so many different things inside, but we knew that the Battle of Verdun has to be in there. And we thought, okay, we're also going to present the album in Verdun, so let's make a music video about it. We didn't film it in Verdun, though.
Harrison from Twin Musics Media Australia. This is a signature question for our website, is if you could have any other band in the world cover one of your songs, which band would you pick, and what song would it be? And would you like them to do it in their style or do it as a Sabaton style?
Oh, so I guess we do one each then. Tommy, you want to break?
That's actually a tough question. Because there's do you want to hear it like a Sabaton song as a power ballad with Celine Dion or another metal band? It's very hard. But I think I would say I would love to hear the old Halloween with Michael Kiske do... Yes, the old Halloween with Michael Kiske.
I was 100% sure you'd say Gary Moore. You fucking asshole!
Gary Moore is dead, so it's not possible. Old Halloween with Michael Kiske doing Aces of Exile. In their style, of course.
Well, it's a good question. I would like to hear and see Rihanna do Reign of Terror.
That was mine. Fuck you. Oh, what am I going to go with? A lot of good ones are dead, you know? Well, I would like to hear Manowar do a Sabaton song of their choosing, actually.
I think we already made it. I mean, for this album, I had an idea about this band, which is a cello metal band called Apocalyptica from Finland. So I went down to Madrid and I asked them if they wanted to cover one of our songs from the new album, and they said yes. So I think that was, for now, the one I wanted.
So it's a difficult question, but I would love to see Freddie Mercury doing the Ballad of Bull. That would be cool.
Hi guys. First of all, I'd like to say I am so excited right now to be talking to you. My heart is beating like crazy. I think I peed in my pants a little bit.
Don't tell us that.
No, I'm sorry. But I'm very, very excited to be talking to you. And obviously, with the 100th year centennial, the end of World War I, obviously, and the fact that you guys are the greatest band of all time forever, there's a lot of anticipation for this new album that's coming out. And is it going to be something where there's going to be things in it that would shock us, be surprising to us as fans? Or is it going to be yet another instantly recognizable classic that kills all albums that have ever come before?
Well,
for all time?
it is very much a Sabaton album. Don't get that misunderstood. Nobody who listens to it will think otherwise. However, I gotta say though, on every Sabaton album there are quite a few surprises, and I say there's a bit of a mindfuck towards the end of this one. So,
Okay.
let's see what you think,
Okay, I'm very excited.
and let us know, please.
Okay, I will.
Hey guys. Hey. I'm sorry for this guy. I bring him from the US, so yeah, sorry. Yeah, it seems that in studio, you told me 1 month ago, it was pretty fast, and the drummer is machine. So I want to hear the new guys and how was it? It was pretty fast in studio and pretty, yeah.
We talked just a month ago about how fast the album was, the actual recording, especially from the basic stuff. And in the beginning, how we tracked everything from bass, drums, guitars, and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, for me, it's my third Sabaton album, and I think that the whole creative process in the studio is always something I really enjoy. It's just a nice environment to be in, you know, and I think we're a good team discussing from the stage of the demos to the actual drum recording, to what extent can we go crazy, to what extent do we need to keep it simple. And now it's 6 years and counting, so I think our working relationship as it comes to recording in the studio is a pretty tight one, which makes it so much fun, pretty uncomplicated, and just shitloads of fun, basically. And yeah, same with this new album. It was very enjoyable, and I think we leveled up on the playing and that goes for all of us, and production as well. So I'm super stoked for you to finally hear it in a month or so, but good question, thank you.
Well, before I joined Sabaton, I recorded many albums with many bands in many different studios, and I have to say, working on the Great War, I have never before in my life recorded an album with so many professional people, in such a professional studio, in such professional way. I mean, we did the guitars in so short amount of time that I didn't think it would be possible to do that, but we did, and we did more than we thought we would do. I mean, recorded more stuff than I was expecting to record, but it went a lot faster than I thought it would do, and it was just it was an amazing and very, very fun time to record this album. I had a good time and I learned a lot, and I recorded some really cool guitar solos. So I mean, of course, it's a nice album, and I think you're gonna like it very much.
It's not nice. It's great. It's the Great War.
It's the great album, of course.
Chris, you want to add?
Well, thank you for leaving nothing for me to say. No, but actually, the recording this time was, I think, even quicker than the other albums. I mean, I think Hannes did the drums, all the drums, from the first day to rigging up all the drums and doing the sound check and everything. 2 days it took, and for all the guitars, what?
Just to fill in there,
Yeah?
it can easily be perceived as being sloppy or because it was so fast, but it's just a sign of how the production went. Like, there was no major hiccups, and when you have fun, time flies, and really that was the case. We could push songs, keep on going, and also push your level of musicianship as hard as you can. And that goes for both guitar players as the rest of the band.
Yeah, being well rehearsed before going into the studio. And guitars were done in 1.5 days. So we beat the drummer.
Competition,
so, yeah.
healthy.
Competition, yeah.
You only
but it was
have
cool.
6 strings. I have a lot more drums than that.
Yeah, I know. I have 7.
Okay, I have also another question. Could you tell us a little more about your YouTube channel, Sabaton History video? Thank you.
Sabaton History Channel, a YouTube channel launched on February 7 this year. The whole idea about it is to tell people more about the background of our songs, the historical background of it. We had the idea already 15 years ago when we wrote the first album about history and war history, and we were discussing how people can find out more what the songs are actually about. At that time we could put inside of the booklet some little texts explaining this song is about this next to the lyrics. Today people don't really buy CDs, so they don't read the booklets anymore. So we needed a different way. But we already talked about it 15 years ago, how we can possibly explain this in the best possible way. And that was through documentary series. it is not something we could have produced 15 years ago. It takes quite a big team. On the team we have 3 proper historians and 2 like history students working. And a lot of other people. So it's a total team of 10 people working on every episode to make it happen. This is something we built up over time. And we actually came across Indy, who is the host of The Great War in our TV show. We came across him some years ago when he was interviewing me about Sabaton's relationship to World War I. We got friends, and when we were about to do the new album, we contacted him, we set up a meeting with him, and we instantly agreed that it's time to launch the Sabaton History Channel. Now we have been doing 20 episodes. We are growing faster than we could predict that it would do. And the idea is that we will cover every single Sabaton song. And before this was launched, a lot of people said, and right, everywhere we could read it for many years, people said, I don't need to go to school, I learn history from Sabaton. People said, oh, Sabaton is the best history teachers in the world. These kind of things. We read it. We didn't say it ourselves because we couldn't really teach history in the past. You could only learn a little bit. By listening 3 or 4 minutes to a song, you can only hear a few words and you can understand what the song is about, but you don't learn things. But from February 7 this year, when we launched Sabaton History Channel, we can actually teach history, and Sabaton evolved into something different than what we were before. For us, and speaking for me at least, the amount of history that we have been studying the past 15 years, I think it has given a better view of the world and better understanding, and a more open mindset and understanding towards different cultures, different people, different backgrounds, and why the world looks like it does. And if this is something that has made my life better, if we can do that to other people, then I see no bad in it. And if people don't want it, they don't need to watch.
I have a 2-part question. The first part, with this new album, will you be doing a world tour for the album, and will you be coming to Australia anytime soon? And also, you said that this album was recorded a lot faster than your previous ones. Are there any other ways that this album differs from previous Sabaton albums?
What is it with you Australians? You're always asking when you're coming to Australia.
Because we love you!
We love you too.
It's the most asked question of the entire press weeks that we've been doing.
Yeah. No, seriously, we'd love to come. Yeah, we'd love to come back. And yes, we're going all over the world. However, at this time, I can't tell you when. But really nice people down there. It's a bitch to get there, though. And this time, I mean, we'd like to come not only for, you know, a short while. We'd like to see a bit more of the country. Spend some time there, drink some beer, you know. And when it comes to the album itself, well, we've said it before, it is really much a Sabaton album. You're not going to be, you know, mistake it for any other band. You're not going to suspect it's Slipknot, you know. But that being said, there is usually a couple of surprises on a Sabaton album. I think this one might have 1 or 2 more surprises, or, you know, new directions. My personal opinion, if you're, you know, deep into it, it's a bit more dark and more atmospheric. But everybody's got different opinions of it, so we will see. But I guess it's natural when you talk about the Great War. It's a very, very dark period in man's history. So if you compare that to for example, our 2 previous ones, Heroes and The Last Stand. Obviously Heroes, there's a lot of heroism to be celebrated. Also, The Last Stand, as a subject, even though, I mean, all conflict is shit, I'm not saying anything else, but that is something heroic, also worth celebrating. People choosing, you know, basically death at all costs, or victory or death, whichever it might be. There is something, well, cheerful or worth celebrating in there. So, in a way, this topic, by going into the studio, by starting to write the songs, knowing we're going to do it about this album, I think absolutely made it a bit of a darker story.
Hello. First of all, thanks for everything. I really love your music. I saw you guys last week on Greenfield, and I was just blown away. I love all the songs, especially the new ones. But I was just wondering, what is your favorite festival to play at, and why?
This is how war starts, right?
Do you want us killed? Damn you, girl!
Well, one of those tough questions because we've been playing at so many festivals and so many great festivals. But I mean, of course, Knotfest. But I would also want to add Hellfest, and I would also like to add Sabaton Open Air in Falun.
Good. Otherwise, you're just a traitor.
It's a trick question, but for me, like the only thing that would be really different is like maybe the food for us, really, or the backstage, how would AC, or if that works or not. But what's the same every time is the people in the audience, right, with the fans, and that's the same. That usually it's just great. So, and that's actually what happens after a while. If you're done on a world tour of an album, how many shows? 200. Yeah, hundreds. You can't really keep track at all time where you are, and that kind of says something because you have a good time every night basically when you're playing, and that's what it's about anyway. So, and if the food, whatever. So, we're super happy to be here. It's a great festival, and we're gonna definitely enjoy tonight as much as we did last weekend.
I'd like to piggyback on that. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm interrupting. Go ahead.
Oh, that's okay.
I'm super sorry.
That's okay, man. Well, I'm gonna go with a bit of a story here. I remember us about 20 years ago drinking beer, singing along to Judas Priest Painkiller, and dreaming that maybe we get to play Wacken someday. And this fucking year we're headlining it, so Wacken.
Yeah, that's going to be something special, and there we are also doing, we are taking the both two main stages at the same time for doing something people have never seen before. So that's going to be something special for sure, I agree with him.
Oh, well. So, yeah. It's always a hard question, you know, to pick the favorite festival, because I think all of them are great, because if there were any fans, there won't be any festival. So if the fans comes to a festival and we get to play there, we're lucky enough to have that. So I mean, all the festivals are great.
Almost all festivals are great.
Except for Sabaton Open Air. I'm just kidding.
Fuck you!
Don't fire me, please.
So I just wanted to piggyback on that's a great question. And every time I've seen you guys in concert in different towns, you always make it that town feel really special, like, hey, this is the best town you've ever been to, this is the best audience of all time. But is there any particular place in the world that you guys have visited that really stands out to you? Any particular city where the fans are they just take it to a different level?
I think we all have different, and it comes to night after night as well. A country that has given you a perfect memory is likely to continue on the same path again, but it could be anywhere. And I think each and every one of us have different, like, oh, I love it here and I love it there. And but in general, most of us like when the craziness of the south of Europe, the craziness of there could be potentially for all of us. Maybe different individual countries, but that's pretty wild.
Quick last question, dernière question.
I've just interviewed Oscar from Amorphol, who's gonna play with you in the US, and you have opened for this band a few years ago, and then they play with you, they open for you. So how do you feel to play with such a legendary band and open with you?
Hammerfall is a great band, and without Hammerfall, there would probably not be any Sabaton. Because when we were formed, Hammerfall had already paved the way for melodic heavy metal. So we have them to thank for a lot of things. And the way things turn out is not really necessarily the way of us or them being the better band or something like that. Now, we are the bigger band. And in some people's eyes, they are the better band. In some us, we are the better band. But all in all, we are on the same way doing heavy metal together. And we actually went together to speak about it, to give US a real dose of Swedish heavy metal together, and we thought that the best possible way to do a melodic heavy metal invasion of the US from Sweden and showing that would be us and Hammerfall. And I'm sure that they will see what is going on.
Thank you. Merci.
Thank you very much.
Armado, bravo, bot!